The knock on my hotel door came exactly at midnight. 3 slow taps echoed through the silent hallway, cutting through the hum of the air conditioner and pulling me from the restless thoughts that had kept me awake for hours. I stared at the ceiling for a moment, convinced I had imagined it. Then the knock came again. When I opened the door, my heart nearly stopped. Standing there was my wife's best friend, Serena. Her face looked pale under the hallway lights. Her eyes were filled with something I couldn't quite understand, fear, sadness, and urgency all mixed together. And then she said something that made absolutely no sense. "Do you want to go to the pool with me?" Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of human connection, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who needs a little hope today, and subscribe to Asian Anesthry for more emotional stories that touch the heart. I should explain how I ended up there. My name is Nolan Mercer, and 6 months earlier my life had begun falling apart in ways I never expected. For 12 years, my wife Avery and I had built a life together. We weren't wealthy. We didn't have perfect careers or a perfect home. But we had something many people spend their entire lives searching for. We had trust. Or at least I thought we did. Then came the diagnosis. Not mine. Avery's. A rare heart condition that arrived without warning and changed everything overnight. The energetic woman who used to wake up before sunrise for morning walks suddenly struggled climbing stairs. The woman who filled every room with laughter started spending more time in hospital waiting rooms than at family gatherings. Watching someone you love suffer is a pain nobody prepares you for. You can't fix it. You can't carry it for them. You can only stand beside them and pray your strength is enough for both of you. During those difficult months, Serena became one of Avery's greatest supporters. They had been friends since childhood. They were more like sisters than friends. Serena attended appointments, helped with errands, and sat beside Avery during long treatments when I was forced to work. She never asked for recognition. She simply showed up. That weekend, we were staying at a resort near the coast for a medical conference recommended by Avery's specialist. The doctors hoped a new treatment program might help improve her condition. For the first time in months, we allowed ourselves a small amount of hope. But hope can be fragile. Earlier that evening, Avery had received test results that weren't encouraging. The treatment wasn't working as expected. The disappointment hit her harder than either of us anticipated. She went to bed early, exhausted physically and emotionally. I spent hours sitting alone by the window, staring at the distant ocean beyond the hotel lights, wondering how many more battles she would have to fight. And now here stood Serena at midnight asking me to go swimming. Nothing about it made sense. Yet something in her expression told me this wasn't a casual invitation. Without asking questions, I followed her. The hallways were quiet. The elevators seemed unusually loud. Neither of us spoke. Outside, the warm night air wrapped around us as we crossed the courtyard toward the pool. Moonlight danced across the water. Palm trees swayed gently in the breeze. The entire resort felt frozen in time. When we reached the edge of the pool, Serena finally sat down. I noticed tears gathering in her eyes. For several moments she simply stared into the water. Then she began telling me a story. A story I had never heard before. When she and Avery were teenagers, they used to sneak out on summer nights and sit beside a community pool near their neighborhood. Whenever life felt overwhelming, Avery would stare at the reflections on the water and talk about her dreams. She dreamed of becoming a teacher. She dreamed of traveling. She dreamed of building a family filled with love. And most importantly, she dreamed of living a life that mattered. Serena told me that years ago, during one difficult summer, Avery had made her promise something. If life ever became too hard, if fear ever became too big, if hope ever seemed lost, someone had to remind her who she really was. Not a patient. Not a diagnosis. Not a collection of medical reports. But the same brave girl who once believed anything was possible. By the time Serena finished speaking, tears were running down her cheeks. Then she revealed something that changed everything. Earlier that evening, Avery had confessed something she had hidden from both of us. She was losing hope. Not because she was tired. Not because she wanted to quit. But because she was afraid she had become a burden to everyone she loved. The words hit me harder than any punch ever could. Because I realized I had spent so much time trying to solve her problems that I had forgotten to reassure her of something simple. She was never a burden. Not for a single second. The woman who had stood beside me through job losses, family crises, and personal failures could never be a burden. Yet somehow she had started believing otherwise. The moon reflected across the water as silence settled between us. Then Serena looked at me. She told me Avery needed more than treatment. She needed reminders. Reminders of her value. Reminders of her impact. Reminders that her life still mattered. That night beside the pool, we made a plan. A simple one. The next morning, we would gather messages from everyone whose lives Avery had touched over the years. Former students. Friends. Neighbors. Family members. Anyone willing to share a memory. We wanted her to see what we already knew. That her existence had changed people. The following day became something extraordinary. Phone calls turned into video messages. Text messages turned into heartfelt letters. Stories poured in from every direction. A former student described how Avery's encouragement helped her become the first person in her family to attend college. A neighbor recalled how Avery delivered meals every week after a family tragedy. A coworker shared how one simple conversation had prevented him from giving up during the darkest period of his life. Hour after hour, story after story arrived. Each one painted a picture Avery had never fully seen. A picture of a woman whose kindness had quietly transformed countless lives. By evening, we had collected dozens of messages. We arranged them into a presentation. Then we invited Avery to join us in a small conference room overlooking the ocean. At first she looked confused. Then the videos began. The first message made her smile. The second made her cry. By the 10th, she could barely speak. By the 20th, everyone in the room was in tears. She watched people she hadn't seen in years describe moments she barely remembered. Small acts of kindness. Simple conversations. Tiny gestures she considered insignificant. Yet those moments had become turning points in other people's lives. For the first time in months, I saw something return to her eyes. Light. Not certainty. Not complete happiness. But light. A spark. A reason to keep fighting. The months that followed were still difficult. There were setbacks. Hospital visits. Sleepless nights. Moments when fear returned. But something inside Avery had changed. She no longer measured her worth by her health. She measured it by the lives she touched. And that realization gave her strength medicine alone could never provide. 2 years later, against many expectations, her condition stabilized. The road remained challenging, but she gained precious time. Time to continue teaching. Time to travel. Time to create new memories. Time to keep being herself. One evening, years after that unforgettable hotel night, we returned to the same resort. The same courtyard. The same pool. The same moonlit reflections dancing across the water. This time Avery sat beside me. Healthy enough to laugh again. Healthy enough to dream again. Healthy enough to tell stories about the future. As we sat there, Serena joined us. The three of us watched the water shimmer under the stars. No one spoke for a while. Words weren't necessary. Some moments are too meaningful for conversation. Looking back now, I often think about that midnight knock. At the time, it felt strange. Unexpected. Almost mysterious. But sometimes the most important moments in life arrive disguised as ordinary interruptions. A knock on a door. A conversation beside a pool. A reminder that someone matters. And sometimes, those moments end up changing everything. Special request * if you've ever had someone believe in you during your hardest days, comment, "Someone believed in me," below. As this story comes to an end, I want to ask you something from the heart. If this story touched you, if it reminded you of someone you love, or if it encouraged you to keep moving forward despite your struggles, please like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to Asian Anesktry. Your support helps these stories reach people who may need hope today. Because the truth is, every person carries battles we cannot see. Every person wonders if they matter. And every person needs a reminder now and then that their life has value. Avery's story taught me that strength isn't about never falling apart. It's about finding reasons to keep going when life gives you every excuse to quit. And sometimes those reasons arrive with 3 quiet knocks on a hotel door at midnight. A moment that seemed insignificant. A moment that seemed strange. A moment that ultimately reminded us that hope can appear when we least expect it. And that even in our darkest nights, there are still people willing to walk beside us until morning comes.